Hello, my name is Ben Coyle. I'm a 32-year-old naval officer, and I fall in the millennial generation. For this presentation, we will consider millennials to be those born between 1980 and 1995, which is the age range commonly agreed upon by institutions such as Deloitte and PwC. I would like to talk about the lessons that the accounting industry has learned about employing millennials and how these lessons apply to naval officers. Despite the notions that millennials are lazy and unable to make decisions, perhaps it is worthwhile to understand more about this generation. Why, you ask? Well, numbering over 66 million, millennials have recently inched past the other generations to corner the largest share of the labor market. Additionally, based on a 2014 Department of Defense personnel report, over half of Navy officers are millennials. If the Navy does not want to see the same exodus of talent from this generation that the accounting industry struggled with, changes need to be made. After a number of studies and extensive research, accounting firms identified the following aspects of the millennial generation that would help them retain talent. These are valuing time over money, a need for a collaborative culture, and feeling connected to one's company. In a recent study conducted by PwC, 95% of millennials interviewed say that their work-life balance is important to them when looking at potential employers. In addition, in a 2014 Department of Defense study, 62% of Navy personnel said their work-life balance was not ideal. Time in this generation is valued more than money. One example of this idea is that many millennials have indicated that they're willing to take a pay cut in order to reduce overall hours at work. Companies that prioritize goal achievement rather than an arbitrary amount of hours during the work week have seen greater success with this idea. Millennials also want more flexibility than previous generations. Options such as telecommuting and flexible hours under a more goal-driven model instead of an hours-driven one have had success as well. Something that goes hand in hand with the value of time is the usage of technology. Using the latest software and hardware has allowed accountants to accomplish tasks at faster and faster rates. And this idea also goes right along with the flexibility of conducting business from the home, office, or at social events. For our first application, the Navy would benefit greatly from spending more time attempting to understand their millennial officers. There will always be needs for long hours and certain security issues, but in many instances, it feels like hours are being logged purely to save face with your boss. A possible solution would be to prioritize goals instead of hours logged and allow more scheduling freedom, especially when we're home and not on deployment. In addition, investing in better computers, tablets, and other devices to help speed up our current workload would be appreciated. Next, accounting firms found that millennials thrived in a collaborative culture. Coming of age in a connected world, this generation is right at home with the ever-growing means of communication, both electronic and otherwise. When previous generations might have been content to work individually at their desk, millennials will accomplish more and be happier if they are in a group setting and allowed to easily bounce ideas and opinions off of one another. This ties directly back to the first point in this presentation that dealt with the value of time. Millennials accomplish tasks faster in groups. For our second application, for the Navy, rather than traditional leader and subordinate roles, why not allow for working groups with a little less formality? Encourage officers of different ranks to work together in a collaborative sense, like these accounting firms have done, rather than having one superior officer issue orders to his juniors. The Navy might find that given the right circumstances, this could produce better ideas and results with younger officers more willing to speak their mind and share insights that might have otherwise gone unnoticed. Finally, millennials are motivated by feeling connected to their company, both in terms of the company's visions and morals and the way they treat and empower their employees. Jennifer Warawa, Global Vice President of Product Marketing at Sage, was asked by Forbes magazine on how to retain millennial talent. She responded by saying that companies need to have a clear and understandable vision, as well as provide opportunities for regular feedback. Next, millennials will work extremely hard, but they also feel like they should be recognized and rewarded for their results. Jeff Phillips, CEO and founder of Accounting Fly, an accounting recruiting network, says that one of the things that firms must do is to say if you are a high performer, you will have certain advantages. Firms must communicate that to new employees. If somebody's a star, you have to have the courage to promote them. If not, they will find opportunities elsewhere. Finally, the last bullet in this theme deals with being open with your employees. Robert Cummings, CPA and partner at Wiser Majors, states that millennials want to see that your company is benefiting society and the environment, not just your checkbook. In addition, he says that companies that operate under the need-to-know style of communication will find their millennial talent pool drying up fast. For our final application, regardless of how well you perform in the Navy, officer promotions are still based predominantly on how many years you have served. This leads to frustration and demotivation as one realizes that the best that your current performance buys you is the opportunity to promote once you hit a certain target year. The Navy could learn a lot from this area and change the promotion system. Obviously, experience is still valuable, but a more flexible promotion system based more on performance and less on years served could help address these issues. Moving forward, in the business world and in the military, there are tremendous opportunities between the baby boomer generation and the millennials. With what are being called encore careers, boomers are sticking around the workforce a little longer than anticipated due to the economy not behaving exactly as forecast. Their strengths and their experiences, paired with the passion and energy of millennials, creates a winning team. It is up to the corporate and military leaders alike to encourage relationships between these generations by bringing out the best in both of them. In conclusion, like any other generation before it, the millennials have their strengths. They are passionate, driven, and social. The accounting world has already made great strides to attract the very best of this generation. The Navy needs to do the same, or they will see a mass exodus of talent that will leave for the plethora of industries in the corporate sector that are already adapting to suit their needs.